Everybody knows that the days are low.
I learned to play football at CBC Perth. I finished school in 1957, and then I went to the University of Western Australia. From a football perspective, it was a really important apprenticeship for me. I played football for the University Football Club. The first coach that I had in A-grade amateurs was the famous Perth Football Club, captain coach Ern Henfrey, and he was a big influence on me. I met Carolyn after I had graduated from university and early in my teaching career, and of course she was a quite famous television personality. She gave up television after the birth of our fourth child, and of course we also lived in various parts of Australia and the rest of the world, and she was very supportive of everything I ever did, always totally supportive, and I was so lucky in that regard. I started at East Perth in 1963. I had two coaches, excellent coaches, so interesting, Jack Sheedy and Kevin Murray. Very, very inspiring people and interesting people. I learned a huge amount about life and about football. And I often said that the most substantial university I ever attended was the East Perth change rooms. And in 1966, or earlier 1966, I was offered a postgraduate research fellowship at Johns Hopkins University in the United States, which is a famous university in Baltimore. And I was extremely lucky to be offered this. And we decided to take it. I really moved away from football altogether, other than a distant spectator, until 1985, so there was a gap of about 14 years. So the then West Australian Football League approached me. It was really in a state of financial crisis, and there was the impending possibility of a VFL, of Western Australia having a team in the Victorian Football League. Within 3 years, the whole thing was in crisis. The Eagles were broke. Subiaco Oval was falling apart. It was a hopelessly inadequate ground, and of course I think we had something like a 12-year lease to run. We were going to lose if we weren't going to lose it, we were going to be held to ransom to such an extent by the CB Council that life wouldn't have been worth living. There was a relatively new Labor government in office under Peter Dowding with a sports minister, Graham Edwards, and the mood was to sweep everybody out and start again. But the Graham Edwards decided to keep two members of the board who were not directly out of WAFL clubs. I mean, I was the accidental chairman. I thought I was on my way out. I finished up chairman. I was almost an accidental appointment to the WAFL board. I'd been out of football for years and years. I don't regret any of the time I gave to football. I mean, it really meant you had a long day. You had the day job and the night job and the weekend job. But, you know, football's more than a job. It's just a beautiful enterprise, great game. And I also happen to think it's very important for Australia. Very important for our society, our community. Yeah, I felt good about doing it.
Everybody knows. Everybody